I was a lot of their first, being their first plus size curvy model.
You couldn't let anyone know the things that you were going through, you know, whatever you shared.
The Bible says, but the God of all grace, hallelujah, and after you suffered a while, how many have
choice to write your own story? Would you write it, or would you let someone else have the pen?
Hey, I love it. Amen. Welcome to another segment of Early Morning Coffee with Martina and her BFF Yvonne, where we give a voice to the voiceless and we let you say what is on your mind. Welcome, everybody, to another segment. Good morning. Well, of course, we're going to start off with my drink this morning. Guess what? I ain't had no sugar. I'm kind of laying off the sugar thing, Yvonne. I'm trying anyway.
Okay,
I'm trying. Let me say this. I still get to the point I get a little craving for some. I'm a Snicker person. You know I love Snickers. I am into the Snickers. I love Snickers. It used to be gummies, but I kind of laid off the gummies for a while.
You should have had some stock in gummies.
Gummies and what is that sauce? The Thai.
That's a hint sauce.
Yes, girl, I used to sprinkle so much of that mess in my gum. I don't know why I love them so much, but
You
hey.
like that old lady who put that hot sauce on everything.
Well, in my cup this morning, I got me some great value coffee, of course from Walmart, and I do some original. Well, you know what? It's that caramel blend type of coffee, so it already got its own little sweet taste to it. But I put a little original sweet and low in, and I put some Splendor in it this morning. I didn't even do the brown sugar. I said, let me just throw some Splendor in this thing and kind of give myself a little rest from the sugar. Because when I go every morning, I leave from work or go here to work, I go to Quick Trip, drink that watered down coffee. I throw sugar in it, hazelnut in it. I be throwing down. But I said today I'm going. Yeah, it's watered down. It's watered down. It was strong to water down. Yeah, they watered it down.
Every location is just that particular location.
Everyone seemed like I've been going to. And then when I go to the one on racetrack, I gotta pour more water in it because it's too yeah. But anyway, BFF, what's going on in your neck of the woods, baby?
Well, this morning, I'm gonna tell you something. I'm grateful to be here this morning because Lord knows yesterday I was just so out of it, just so exhausted.
Yeah.
And then everything started hurting last night. I mean, hurting so bad. I literally got the water as hot as I could stand it and sat in the shower for over an hour. That's how bad everything was hurting, even down on the inside to my stomach. So I'm grateful to be here this morning. Thank you, Lord. So I'm gonna praise you on through all the aches and pains because I know it's somebody out there that cannot feel anything. So I'm grateful.
Yeah.
This morning I am drinking some what is that? Community coffee. It's actually really good. I don't think I've ever had it other than purchasing it at the store. And of course, I'm drinking from my Falcons mug. Yeah, the season over for us. So what?
I won last week.
Huh?
Got one last week.
Well, yeah, we got one last week. So yippity doo dah. I mean, that could have went. That could have went any kind of way. And like I said, I am the number one Falcons fan, and I am a critic as well. You know, I feel like this right here. You making all this money, you got to show up and play every time. You can't go out there and play every now and again. You got to go out there and show and play every time. And even sometimes that means getting rid of some key players that you think are good players. You gotta kind of weed out some of the ones in order to get to the right mix. You know, it's like having that perfect cake. So it's gonna take a few more years. Arthur Blank, I love you, but it's time for one of your children to step in and take over. And you know, maybe it's time for the general manager to be changed out. It's a lot of choices and decisions because we have the weapons. We have the weapons to be able to be contenders, and we're not contenders. So, and I feel that some of the key players that we have maybe wasting their time here in Atlanta. So that's all that I got to say.
Yeah, I know. That's all you got to say. I like your hair.
I like yours too, girl.
Thank you, boo. You would think we'd be sitting in each other's house saying, okay, you do your hair like this and I do mine and we'll go together. We don't even see each other until we get on this show in the morning.
Yeah.
I like your hair, girl.
This was a snatch up and go. And this is how it was when I was in the shower. So I just stuck some pins in and said, okay, you
Love
going
it.
to for
You
today. So
love it.
thank you for that.
Yeah, I
So
gotta give a shout out to my manager. She have to this we have to go and bury her sister today, and right afterwards I'm going to head on out and go to her sister's funeral. And I just want to give a shout out to Kashina this morning for being such a inspiration through this all. She literally trying to bury her sister, doing all of this and working at the same time. And I just have to give someone that have so much strength behind her, because this wasn't a death that had just they knew about it. It just was a sudden death. So we
yeah.
just want to give her love, and I want to give her a shout out. I know she may not be on, but I just want to still show her some love this morning. And all the family, my condolences to her and her entire family. But anyway, Yvonne, what's going on before we go ahead on and bring on our beautiful guest?
So, I tell people education, voting, all those things go hand in hand. Educate yourself about what is happening in your community, your neighborhood, your community, your state, your country, your world. Educate yourself, stay informed. So, the latest chronicles of the Trump administration is when people are coming into the country, they want to review your the people's social media content for the past 5 years. And based upon what that has taken place in those 5 years constitutes whether or not you're granted access into this country. So I'm telling y'all, keep your head on the swivel, stay alert.
I said, good morning, Tara. Good morning, sweetie. I'm so glad to see you this morning. I missed you last week. I did. I missed you, girl.
You gotta keep your head on the swivel. You gotta stay educated. You gotta stay alert. Watch your coins. I'm telling everybody, watch your coins. Watch how you're spending your money. Watch what you're doing. Watch what you're doing with your money. Okay, people. Start preparing yourselves for a different type of society. We're going into the second year of this administration. If you guys think that the first year was something, prepare yourself for hell. We're going from the traumatic to hell. So the first year was shocking. So just prepare yourselves for the second year.
Yeah.
And then last but not least, food stamp recipients. Stop selling your food stamps and stop hoarding your food stamps. Let me tell y'all, they are waiting for y'all at the grocery stores now. You guys that's selling your stamps and passing off your codes and everything, they're locking people up in the grocery store, and you get a lifetime ban from food stamps, and then you have to go back and you have to pay back any food stamps that you received for the past 10 years. So
And it's so funny. Why do you get? I never felt. I mean, I've seen people do it.
Mm-hmm.
And I took you to the grocery store and we've gotten groceries.
Yeah.
But wait, and I don't get food stamps now. But I remember when I did, I had too many kids to be trying to sell something off. Why are you selling?
Well, you know what really got people into investigating. I'm gonna tell you something. Y'all stop running to the courthouse talking about y'all suing somebody and your hands are dirty.
Mm-hmm.
Stop that. Y'all running there talking about suing people because they shorted you on your weed, or they didn't give you your money for your food stamps and everything. After you stop that, because you gonna go to jail too. You are just as guilty. So that alerted them. And then the other thing is they're going to start going through. They're in the process of putting together an audit team to audit what your purchases are. So that I want you guys to think about that. To audit what your purchases are. So you going out here and you buying up $300 and $400 and $500 worth of seafood, and you saying that you got a family of 8 that you're trying to feed for the month. The math ain't mathing, and they start to look at all that. So that's all that I'm saying. Sometimes we are we are our worst people because we telling ourselves about stuff that we have going on and what we doing. We know
by the end of the month, you don't have no more food stamps and no food because you out here buying all this seafood in the beginning of the month. Come on now, selling them off and all of this stuff. And I get it. Some people have hard times. They need to get bills paid. And you hear that stuff, but I'm sorry. Now they are really getting down on these people about.
And then the last thing, if you say you get $800 a month, and then you only spent $200 and some odd dollars for 2 consecutive months, baby, your stamps are going to be reduced to that $200 and some odd dollars, because evidently you're doing some other things and you're trying to hoard and hold on to stamp. So I'm telling y'all, it's a crackdown, and they were not playing. They were not playing. So I want y'all to think about that. That's all I got to say. That's my tea.
That's enough. My girl. Yep, she keep y'all up to date. I'm telling y'all, so pay attention. Pay attention. All right, so let's go ahead on into our next segment. Let's go on to the next part of our segment. I'm excited again for this young lady to come on. Empty her bag again. We want to give a shout out to Zachary, because he's always bringing on some wonderful guests. Exactly. He calls. He be like, "Oh, I got one for you. Oh, this one right here. I'm telling you, they got a great story." I be like, "All right, brother, bring them on. Send the pictures. Send what I need, baby." And he always never fail us, So I want to keep on going, because we are already 3 minutes into the time. But let me go ahead on and bring on our next guest after this introduction, baby. Here we go.
Authenticity, integrity, alignment, 3 powerful words, but what do they really look like when lived out loud? On this episode of What's in the Bag, we welcome Cynthia Chea Péan. Join us as we unpack the courage it takes to live in truth, stand firmly in your values, and align your life with purpose, not pressure. This isn't just a conversation, it's an invitation to live fully aligned. What's in the Bag, where we give a voice to the voiceless.
Good morning, beautiful lady.
Good morning.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. Blessings on blessings. Thank you for being a part. Thank you for wanting to empty your bag, girl, because I heard you got a big old bag and it's ready to be empty. Hey, oh yeah, baby. This let me say this. This is a well-rounded entrepreneur here. Don't think I don't know some of the stories. So let's go ahead on. I want to empty your bag, but let me know. I see you got a cup of something. What you drinking this morning?
And on the cup it says, "Blessed is she who believes."
All right now.
I love it. What's in there? What's in there? What you got going on?
In my cup is some peppermint tea and some vegan creamer. I grew up in a Caribbean home where everything was solved with a cup of tea.
Wow.
And so this is my comfort. This is what I do.
Yes, love it. And what type of tea is it?
Peppermint.
Peppermint tea.
Peppermint tea.
I love peppermint. That's good for the season too. I like peppermint during the season. That's a wonderful thing to bring in the season. So, question for you. Mm-hmm. What's in your bag, girl? What's in the bag?
What's in my bag is basically the premise for this entire conversation, and gratitude.
All right. All right.
It's overflowing in my bag. Gratitude.
Talk about it, girl.
Mm-hmm. Well, I believe that a habit of gratitude is transformative. Mm-hmm. There are different things you hear. I grew up hearing the phrase, "By beholding, we become changed." Mm. What a fool believes he sees, from the great Michael McDonald. And you can take that different ways. What you believe is what you will see. So if you're focusing on gratitude, you're going to see more things to be grateful for. If you're over here being miserable and complaining about things, guess what's going to appear? Those things. So to me, my bag, what I have embraced is gratitude. And that's the foundation for everything.
All right. Talk about it. This is your floor.
Well, authenticity, integrity, and alignment is something that's been very, I would say, like in the past couple of years, it's something that has really been heavy on me. Heavy in a good way. I have had a lot of experiences in my life, like a lot of us have.
Yeah.
And there was a time where I could play the violin. I mean, I had a story, baby. I had a story, unrequited love and this person did that and all these things. And one day a friend of mine who has since passed said to me, you're an attractive woman, but you have no idea how unattractive you make yourself in rehashing these things gone wrong things. And I was like, wow. And I literally, I could give you the A, B, C, D, all the way to the Z about what somebody did to me. And it typically was around like a love gone wrong type of thing.
Right.
And when he said that, I was like, I guess I do. Like, it's like if somebody took a breath, I'm jumping in and I'm telling you my story. And when he said that to me, it really made me stop and think and reevaluate. And from then I started, that was a while ago. From then I started the journey. But within the last few years, I just decided that I was going to live a joyful life. And I just decided that I was going to, we all have this battlefield of the mind.
Mm-hmm.
And it's something that it is a daily practice. It is a daily thing that you have to do to train your mind to see the best.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, let me try it. And it has been the singular thing that has changed and transformed my life has been a practice of gratitude. And because of that gratitude, I see gratitude like this. Gratitude is the thing that like evens the playing field. Gratitude is the thing that when you take dips, it covers. It kind of like, it's like a shock absorber in life, gratitude. And as you move through life, when you're clothed and cloaked in gratitude, it's not that things don't happen to you, but you're able to survive them. You're able to weather them because you recognize that everything happens for a reason.
Right.
Bad decisions that are made have consequences, but even those consequences be grateful for because they push you back into alignment. They focus you, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it has really transformed the way I look at everything, because when you live a life of gratitude, when your bag is gratitude, it feeds your spirit. It feeds the goodness. It's like when you work out, you're developing this muscle, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so when you live a life of gratitude, you are aligned. And I see it as when you're aligned with the divine, which is the word I use. I know some people freak out about the universe and the divine.
Yeah, right. All the same.
God is the divine to me.
Yes. Come on,
And if I'm in alignment with the divine and these blessings are coming down, I've got some sun coming in on me.
Yes.
That's the alignment.
Yeah.
When you're aligned, your blessings hit you. They can't miss you. When you're out of it, if your blessings are coming down here and you're over here, they're missing you. And gratitude keeps you aligned, because gratitude keeps you in the mindset of, I am where I am supposed to be with the divine. I am doing what I'm supposed to be doing with the divine. And even though this might temporarily be uncomfortable, ultimately it is to get me back in alignment and set me on the path that he has ordained for us.
Yes. So did that, because I hear you pause a little bit. Was that an attitude change?
Oh, absolutely. And part of it had to come with me discovering what my purpose was. It's so important, it's so important to know who you are and what you're here for. Because if you don't, you're kind of like, and for years I was all over the place. I did not figure out what I wanted to do professionally or what I was called to do professionally until I was 41. I'm 54. So that was 13 years.
Good girl.
You look amazing.
Thank you. And I'm also, for those single ladies out there, I was 2 months away from 41 when I got married.
Beautiful.
And worth the wait. absolutely worth the wait. I would not change a thing.
Yes.
So things of quality have no fear of time.
Right.
That's another thing that the gentleman who told me I was making myself unattractive told me. But I just lost my train of thought.
You're talking about your attitude on how you
Oh,
train.
yes, a total attitude adjustment. Because again, it's a decision. I know to some people it may seem complicated, but it is truly a decision. And when you train your mind to see beauty, when you train your mind to see things to be, first of all, there's always something to be grateful for. I don't care what your predicament is. There's somebody who's looking at you who's saying, I wish I had that life. For example, this morning we have the privilege of being able to sit on a podcast and chat. There are people that have been at work since 4 o'clock this morning.
Right.
We're going from that job to a next job to a next job.
Right.
So there's always something to be grateful for. And that, how can that not affect your attitude?
Right. 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 You got something, Bob?
Yeah. So I'm sorry. Were you going to say
So
something?
I'm listening to you.
Yeah. So I just think that I took some notes because I wanted to make sure that I hit a few things.
Okay.
And alignment is, I believe that we are pretty much born aligned. I think that we are born aligned, and I believe our sole purpose is to remain aligned or get back in alignment.
Yeah.
And there is a theology that a lot of Christians, when they talk about, you're born in sin and you're shaped in iniquity, and I don't know how I feel about that. I do believe that we are born aligned, we're born pure, we're born innocent, and things happen to us in life that kind of shift us. They try to shift us off, but our sole purpose is to be aligned. And I think that alignment is one, through gratitude, and it is two, through a personal relationship with the divine. It is not received by sitting in a church pew. It's not received necessarily in Bible study. It is an intimate, laid bare relationship that you have with the divine. And it's taking away all of the trappings. I'm a first generation American. My mother was from the Caribbean. My father is from Liberia, West Africa. And there's so many things in their stories that speak to alignment and how the divine works. With health, for example, back in the day, people knew you have a headache, you take that bush, you drink it, you'll be fine. Or you do this and you do that. We've fallen out of alignment. So now we're running to pharmaceuticals and we're doing this and we're doing that. Alignment meant, to those people, the divine spoke to them and gave them direction, and they knew what to do. We no longer trust that inner voice because we have not developed an intimate relationship with that inner voice, right? So alignment means that I am so strongly connected to the divine, to that spirit, that I hear their direction and their leading in my life. Whatever you feed grows. It's just like with diet. If you're eating junk food, you're contributing to the demise of your health and the destruction of your body. If you're eating healthy food, you're strengthening it. So it's spiritual food. What are you feeding your body?
Yes, girl.
Wow.
Yes.
I kind of feel like grace and alignment go hand in hand. When they're off, you feel it everywhere. Grace is, to me, is what carries you when you stop forcing. Alignment is what happens when you're finally honest about who you are, what you need, and what season you're in.
Yes.
At what point did you feel that you needed to combine grace and alignment together when you were truly aligned?
I was incredibly critical of my mother growing up. As a child, you see your parent as a parent. You don't necessarily see them as a human being. Oftentimes, it's not until later in life that you see that and you recognize that. And at times you'll have compassion and at times you won't. But I grew up with a mother who was I would say she was very overbearing and domineering. And I just felt like I could never do anything right. That was just that was my experience. Whether or not that was actually what happened, that was my experience. And my mother died when I was 28, going on 29 years of age. And once she died, something happened where I started to see her beyond a parent. I started to see her as a woman. I started to see her as somebody who was brokenhearted. My mother had a bad relationship with her mother, but let's go back. My grandmother was an orphan. She was an orphan born in 1918 in British Guyana, and she ended up having my mother and my aunt out of wedlock, which was a major, black scar, black mark back then. And so this woman who hadn't received love has these two daughters, and she has to raise them. And because she didn't receive love, she armed them. She taught them that life wasn't fair, that life wasn't safe. The softness that you need to balance those things out wasn't given to my mother. But I never thought about that. I never thought about that. And once I realized my mother gave me all that she could possibly give me. Maybe it wasn't all that I felt that I needed, but she gave me all that she could give. So I saw her as a human being, and it started to soften my attitude about things in general, because your parents, pretty much your attitude towards your parents, that kind of influences your worldview.
This is true. Yes.
Right? And so once I became compassionate to the little girl inside my mother, once I became compassionate to the person who was just trying to figure it out, and now she has two children, and she wants to make sure that they don't make the mistakes that she could. Let me tell you, I went back to the mistakes that she did. When I was in Guyana in September, and I'd been there a few times before, but something different this time. When I went, my eyes were really like the scales were dropped from my eyes. And I truly realized where my mother came from. I truly realized what she was up against. I realized what she accomplished, and I realized what she was terrified of me squandering.
Wow.
And I realized that was why she was the way she was with me, because she was like, there was this thing they used to say, there was a show, The Preachers of something, that used to be on like Bravo or something. You see my glory, but you don't know my story. You don't know what I have been through. And in a sense, I'm shielding you from that, because I went through it. I don't want you to have to deal with that. But know that what's here now was hard earned. And that was what really helped with my attitude adjustment. And that's what really started me on this path of gratitude, of authenticity, of integrity and alignment, and recognizing that it is a daily submission, it is a daily practice, and it is transformative, but you've got to put in the work.
And I relate so much to what you're saying. I mean, my mother wasn't, I can't say she was overbearing. I can't say it in that aspect. But because she lived a Christian life, whereas church, from the day I was born and with my siblings, she poured that into us. So I had an identity issue. And for me to pour out what she taught me didn't align with what I really felt about myself and what I was going in my path. So my mom, and the same with you, she left here, and I still believe this, for me to live. A lot of people don't understand that when I say that. My mom left for me to live. And when she left here, I started seeing who I am, not through other people's eyes, but starting to see it through my own eyes. And I had to go through alignment. And I'm still doing it daily, and I find that what you're saying, it kind of gives me the understanding where I'm at now, because I am I'm grateful. Believe me, I love my mom. I love everything she poured in me, but I had to reprogram myself. It's not all about what she taught me, because this person that I see myself wasn't the person that that was poured out into me until now. I'm finally getting to see who I am. And that's a hard thing to do, to reprogram yourself.
Ooh, it is. It really is. Because as a child, it's something that it shapes you.
Yeah.
It shapes you. And my husband has this thing where he says, your parents' trauma raises you.
Yes. I was just thinking that.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's something else.
Yeah.
So that's my mom's story. And on my father's side, my father is a native of Liberia, West Africa. My dad grew up, and I tell people he's from the bush. My dad is literally, he grew up without shoes. He didn't go to first grade till he was 11 years old. It's one of those stories, a village boy. And so, I'm looking at my father now. I grew up in San Francisco, California.
Wow.
As far removed from a village in Liberia, West Africa as you can come.
California.
Right. So this is the lens through which I'm seeing my father. I'm not taking into consideration all of these things that this guy had to get through to land in this country and get this opportunity.
Right.
And so, it is important to consider that you may not know the entire story.
Well, never.
And if you have an opportunity, and if your parents are willing, because sometimes it's painful for them to recount these things. But if you are fortunate enough, or if you have somebody else in your family who can kind of fill in the blanks, do it. Get to intimately know your story, because it influences who you are. I have an aunt she just turned 88, and she is the keeper of all things in our family, from my mom's side of the family. And what I love about her is she gives me perspective. I tell her, you've given me my soul. I know who I am because you have filled in the gaps, and I'm incredibly grateful for her, because it gives me an understanding about the people that I came from and why certain things happened and why I may be good and bad.
Right.
It's not that I'm grateful for that, I'm like, oh, that's why I cook. Oh, that's why I do this.
Right.
Oh, that's why I do this.
Right.
Oh, that's why I do this.
Right.
That's why I do that. It's on both sides.
Yeah. Let me get this one, because it's kind of Q&A time. I want.
Okay.
She said, "This is good, Cynthia. How? Let me make it bigger, because I'm good for now. Cynthia, how you were able to see your mom with different eyes. Thank you for sharing this. This is very relatable."
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is. It's not easy. But it's one of those things. You want people to be compassionate with you. You want to be understood. You want to be understood. So it is really it's a thing of decency.
Yeah.
And unfortunately I don't have any children of my own. My husband had daughters before, from previous marriage, and I have 4 grandchildren now. So I don't have my own children to pass on trauma to. So, but I still see it as an intentional daily thing to work on your stuff. The person that I am today, I am only that person because I have been given a space to really dig deep and have these conversations. And I will be honest, my husband has been he's been a great resource for that as well, because I tell people I can talk to him about anything. Anything. I'm a part of a blended family, and I have 2 stepdaughters, and blending sometimes is not that smooth.
Right. Right.
Blending sometimes there's some chunks left up in there,
Right.
and some things that
Yeah.
you have to scrape down from the side.
That's right.
But he has created an environment where I've been able to work through things that may have triggered some of my trauma in my relating to them.
Mm.
So I think it's important to have people in your life that you can also, that are sounding boards, that are not judgmental, that will let you work through your stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mommy's not always bad. It's
No.
just like you said, they only work on what was poured in them. Because I had a chance to sit down and talk to my mom, and I realized we had so much in common, and she didn't realize what she was doing, and we're just raising our children. I have 5, okay, and of course my mom had 5, okay, and of course I only did what I knew was right, because like my oldest would tell you I was very strict, but my youngest would tell you I'm very lenient. So because of the different generations, I found that I was harder on my daughter, and then I didn't have to be that hard, but I was, because that's the way I was taught. But as I had my children, all of that started peeling off, because I started seeing, I don't have to do all of this. It doesn't make sense for it to be. I mean, it's not that hard.
Mhm.
So your children only view you by the way what you pour into them at their generation. Because my oldest daughter tell you, so you were not like that. You ain't like that. But I wasn't. I was whooping her behind when she did something wrong. But my son, when he did something wrong, I would sit down and talk to him and find out where he at, why he doing these things. Because I'm getting old, I'm getting tired, I ain't got time for all of that drama. So I started seeing things differently.
Yeah.
But you know what I'm saying? But if you sit down and talk to each one of them, they all have their
They've experienced a different parent.
yeah,
A different parent. And I grew up in a home with I have 2 older half brothers that were born in Liberia, but I grew up with my brother Alvin. And he even had a different experience with my mother as a boy child.
See?
He had a totally different experience, and we're very much alike, but but we're so different in so many ways. And just the other day I was with him, I'm like, how does that happen? 2 people grow up in the same exact home, but experience a different parent.
That's why our bag is. That's why we say we can have the similar contents in our bags, but the experience can be so different.
Right.
And that's the thing.
Just like a recipe, right?
Yeah,
a recipe. Exactly. I can have a recipe, you can have a recipe.
But it tastes different.
And let me say this real quick. It's interesting because last night I was talking to, we're staying temporarily with my best friend's parents. That they're an older couple and they're great. We love sitting and talking with them, so much wisdom. But he was saying that his mother-in-law used to fix this dish for him. And when she did, it was really good. And I said, the difference was, because his wife was saying, I could never fix it the same way. I said, the difference was your mother-in-law's, she put love and emotion in that dish. And people tend to underestimate that.
Yes.
But that's the special sauce.
Yes.
It's emotion that you're sharing as you present
this. That makes a lot of sense. Because I hear people say, I try to make that just like you, but it don't taste the same. It don't taste the same. It don't never taste the same. Okay, Tara, we got this big old long. You want to read that for me, Yvonne? Go ahead. You see it?
Yeah, hold on for a second. I got to make it large so I can see it. See it. There we go.
Got it. If you want.
To those that are going through life's uncertainty and transitions, they ask, how can I possibly rejoice when things are hard? Because our joy is not based on circumstances, it's based on the Lord or the divine himself. Joy is rooted in who God divine is, not what's happening around us. Joy doesn't deny sadness, hurt, pain, or disappointment. It overcomes those transitions.
Absolutely.
Gratitude fuels that joy. Then no matter what we face or how hard life's uncertainties can become, count all those afflictions joy.
Love it.
Beautiful.
Sarah, yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Love it.
And I have to comment on something that you said. I have 5 sisters. And Thanksgiving, we were sitting and we were talking and we were looking at my baby sister because she was recounting all these things that happen, but a totally different version. And I remember some of my sisters said, "Oh, she is crazy." I said, "Don't say that." I said, because I said I learned through our show, and I said Marvina and I, we talked about this a long time ago, is that everybody has a bag, and the contents of those bags can be so, you can grow up in the exact same space, but the contents of those bags can be so very different. And
Absolutely.
and the best life lesson to learn from my dad, was that before he passed away, a year before he passed away, he called me one day and said, "We need to talk." And I said, "Okay, now I will listen, but you got to be willing to hear me as well." And that was the longest 2-hour drive that I had coming from work. I was caught in Atlanta traffic, but it was the best conversation ever. And him leaving here also prepared me to be able to deal with my mother and understand her better. So I relate to everything that you said about your parents. And basically, at the end of the day, they loved you the best way that they knew how to love you, and with what the tools and resources that they were given.
And from that point, it's my responsibility now
Damn.
Yes,
to fill myself with
yes,
for what is missing. And I'm more than capable because the foundation has been laid, and
That's right.
that's where gratitude has come in. And that is, again, what has transformed my life, because you can choose to see the glass either half full
that's
or
right.
half empty. And
I'm
I
getting
choose to
there.
see it as half full.
I do
Yes,
too.
I'm getting there. I'm getting there. I'm getting to that point. Okay, because as my mom was around, but my real father wasn't. He was like the absentee father. He was
Hmm.
around, but I watched him raise other children and I was his really firstborn. So I had an identity issue because my mom was Christian and he was Muslim.
Oh, wow.
And it was an identity issue because I wanted to learn about his religion and his God, and I already knew about my mom's. It clashed in the beginning, but then when I got older, I was able to talk to my dad and speak to my dad and realize that his religion and his relationship with his God was no different than my mother's. They just named it different things.
Mm.
So I got an understanding of who I was. Now I'm getting a better understanding because now I understand my dad a little better than I did when I was younger. When you got someone else pouring, which my stepdad, pouring stuff in you, and you don't really understand that. You want that father figure. You having those abandonment issues. You having issues the way you're being raised, and knowing that this is not who you really is. It made me cautious of the fact that I would ever open ourselves up to anything and anybody. I was a quiet person,
Mm.
wondering who I was. Now, with you saying what you saying, it even gives me an understanding on where I'm at. Because your mom and dad might have been from different walks of life, but you still had to find your identity in each one of them.
Yes. Yes.
And that's where I was at, trying to figure out, because I got my mom. I seen a lot of my mom. Normally, when you have mother, I have 5 children. I can see myself in each one of my children by the way
Mm.
they act, the way they do things. I can see it. But I couldn't figure out who I was through my dad.
Mm.
That's
And,
powerful.
and now that I'm getting older, and my mom has left here. My dad's still living, but he's lost he has Alzheimer's, so he
Mm.
really can't really talk to me for me to understand where he is, but I still can see through him who I am.
Come on now.
And it makes me understand
Beautiful.
that I don't have to just be just what my mom has poured in me. I
Right.
have more to me than just this that I was shown all my life.
You know, when my mother passed, that is when I got to know my father.
Mm.
Because my mother, she was doing it all. She was the strategist. She had the spreadsheet. My dad ran support, but he was very much in the background, which is very untypical, well, atypical, I think, for I would say, for an African man.
I agree.
When my mother died, so many things made sense about, because I thought, oh, mommy just always is bossy and running things. I got to see some of my dad. I was like,
Yep.
kind of had to do that, you know?
Yep.
And so that I was introduced to my father, really. He was in the home. He took us to piano lessons. He did all that kind of stuff. But I did not get to know my father until my mother passed.
Wow. Wow.
So it's interesting that we have that. We have that.
Oh yeah.
similarity.
Oh yeah. That bag. We got a lot of similar content in that bag. You know what I'm saying? And I love it because this just helps me as my growing. I'm growing. I'm learning to live Marvina and what you call art. Say the word
Authenticity.
authenticity. I always say it wrong. I'm actually learning now. I'm actually getting to that place where I don't feel sorry about my shadows. What I mean by my shadows, the things that's been haunting me, my insecurities, my abandonments, my shame for being mean sometimes, or my shame for not liking people. And I was made to, you better like this person, because in church you had to like these person even when they did you wrong.
For all the surface reasons.
Yes. So now I'm learning to put both together. It's like I'm intersecting them both. I'm putting them together and I'm loving both sides of me. Stuff that I stuffed and I'm thinking is gone. It was never gone. It just progressed. It just came, and I stuffed it. So now that when I act like this, I put a name on it. I understand me. I'm get with it. I'll understand that I am this person. I could be selfish. I could be this. I can be that and be okay with it. Whereas my mother taught me that this is not okay. You can't act like this. You can't be like this. You can't do this. You got to accept that people are going to be people. Even when I'm upset, I learned to stuff it and don't say nothing. I get quiet and move. And I found that was an issue because I needed to talk about it.
Yeah, you have to release at some point in time.
Yes. So where I get it, I'm just like, thank you for letting me even empty my bag with this. You might thought this was even just for you, but you're allowing me to see some things about me just through your story.
And I think that being authentic and having integrity it's truth. And it doesn't have to be mean. It doesn't have to be harsh, but it has to be real.
Real. Yeah.
And you've got to face that, like Ayana used to say, call a thing a thing. And once we've recognized it, then we know where and how to move, but you have to recognize it.
Yes.
And where I am in my journey, it is uncomfortable for me to be dishonest. It is uncomfortable for me to not be true. It is uncomfortable for me. If I see you struggling and you're my friend, or you're doing something and you're my friend, I'm not being a true friend to you if I continue to allow you, or I don't speak on this thing. I don't have to be harsh about it, but call a thing a thing.
Yes.
Especially in the day and age that we're living in. You were sharing some stuff earlier, Yvonne, and especially in the day and age that we're living in, what is going to help us to survive it is community, is being honest. It's knowing that what I said to you is truth. You're going to have to be able to depend on me and know me.
That's right.
And so the only way we can arrive at that is by being authentic, is by being people of integrity, and by being aligned.
That's right.
That's the only way we're going to make it through this. These people is not a game.
Nope.
It's not a game. And, we've survived a lot. But this is some next level stuff. So
yes. And I got to thank my BFF for this, because even yesterday we had, I went in my little emotional pouting stage. I'm in this new era of my life right now. And I went in a pouting stage and she made me see myself. And once I see myself, like I said, I put a name on it, and then I went back to just thank her, because I didn't realize that that's who I was and what I was doing. and she was being real with me, and she broke it down the nicest way she could. I thank God for. She ain't mean. She don't just Vina, you wrong. She will give me examples. She will tell me, this is what your position is. This is what you need. Not even this is what you need to do. This is what I do, and maybe you can get something in the way I did it from it. And she made me see myself. This right here, down here, this is my community, okay?
I love it. I love it.
I love the fact that she can relate to me like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Yes, ma'am. All right, Tara, I'm going to bring you on. Let's see what you got to say. Let me see if I can make this. Yes, her story, living in the truth. Take off the mask. I love this segment. Wonderful, beautiful speaker. Yes, yes, yes. Yes, 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 yes. And go ahead.
I have to say something. You both said something about Cynthia. You said something about alignment. Marvin, you said something about authenticity. And I look at it like this: when we're aligned, you stop needing people, places, and things to be what they were never meant or able to be. And I had to learn that. I think that was one of my. I think that helped me to stop being so angry all the time. When you're grateful, you stop allowing resentment to rent space in your spirit.
Yes.
And that was big for me. And and the balance is this, because we did a segment about balance, and gratefulness honors what shaped you. Alignment protects who you authentically are. So I thank both of you guys for.
I love that. I love that.
Thank both of you for that today.
Yes. Oh my God, this was so beautiful. I love it. You just made, So tell me a little bit about what you got going on, because I'm going to bring some of the stuff going on. So here we go. You are a host of. Tell us about this uprooting.
Well, all of this is changing. So my husband and I are moving to Accra, Ghana in January. We are out of here.
Okay.
Yeah, we are out of here in January. So I'm working on a skincare line called Cougar.
All right,
we'll hear about that soon. So I'm working on a skincare line. I have a spice line that I am relaunching that I had out some time ago, a few years ago. I'm working on a book on my family history. It's a fascinating story. I think it's a fascinating story on both sides of my family. And the reason I want to write this book, my why, is honoring my ancestors and their sacrifice and what they've done, and giving a goalpost for the future generations.
Yeah.
And it's a story that I think so many people will see themselves in as people of color, what we have overcome. Yeah. It's like the thing when they say, until the lion learns to write, the hunter will always be the victor. And I think it's important to give voice to different stories in the diaspora that we can relate to, and we can understand that our story did not start with slavery.
Yes.
Our story did not start with slavery. Their interaction with us started with slavery.
Right.
But our story didn't start there. And it is important for us to know from whence we came, so we can see it as a goalpost if this is where we're going.
That's right. Oh my God. So why you moving? What I mean, you ain't gotta tell the whole story, but just sugarcoat it.
We started to think about moving out of here in 2018, to be fair.
Okay.
But it's just, it's something that we said, my husband, he's the business that he's in, he can kind of be anywhere and do it. And I've been a private chef for years. And I wanted to transition out of it. And my attitude was, I just want to get out. I don't care if we're in a studio apartment somewhere.
I love it.
I just don't want to be here. When I've gone to the continent, I don't know if you visited.
No.
You need to go.
Just get there so I can get
Every African American needs to go. Yes. Well, you've got a landing spot. Every African American needs to go, because it will humble you when you hear the stories of what our people went through to even get on the boat.
Wow.
It just makes you grateful, even more grateful that you're alive, and it gives you much more purpose and direction as you move.
Yeah, wow. I want to go. I want to go everywhere. I ain't even gonna lie.
That is on my list.
Yeah. But
I got a list.
Ghana is a great, if you're going to do one trip to the continent, to West Africa, I would say do it to Ghana.
Right, love it,
Mhm.
Ghana. They got good food because I know you're a great cook.
They do have good food. A lot of
Yes,
pepper
ma'am.
though.
Yes, ma'am. So, if I need to get to see you or want to talk to you, this is her Facebook
My
page.
Facebook and my
Yes, ma'am.
Insta. Yep.
Yep, she has an Instagram page also. Y'all want to go on
Last name,
Instagram
friend.
and look her up and see what she got going on in there. She even LinkedIn, so you want to go
Yes, I am
look
on
up
LinkedIn.
on LinkedIn.
That's gonna be changing up soon, but
It's
yeah.
gonna be changing up soon. Everybody changing. Great, just change. Leave us before we get to go. Don't worry, we going with you. You ain't you ain't going nowhere. You're a sister now.
I hear you. I would love to come back.
Man, I am excited for the future for you. You know what?
Thank
And I'm
you. Thank you.
blessings
And
on
you
your
as well as we
yes,
continue
ma'am.
on our journeys.
Yes, ma'am. Continue. And when you get there, don't forget about us. You send us postcards. Say, Marvina, I'm ready when to come back on. I want to talk to you and show y'all stuff in Ghana. All that.
Absolutely.
I'm open to it all.
We would
Huh?
love that. That would be an exciting segment. I think that'd be.
Yes. Let's talk about it while you get there. Don't
Hey, can
forget
you
us.
pronounce your last name for me?
Yes.
Payon.
Pay.
Payon. Like you pay on a bill. It's
Pay.
French Haitian. But
Okay.
payon. Mm-hmm.
Yes, ma'am. Well,
Mm-hmm.
we're gonna have to get out of here because I gotta hit the road running. I love you. I appreciate you. You're assisting us now. You need us. You want to know anything you need, you reach out. You got us now.
Thank you.
Okay?
Thank you
I
so much for
appreciate
having
you.
me on. I
Yes,
appreciate
ma'am.
it.
No problem.
Thank
And
you.
yes,
Thank you.
ma'am. You ready, Yvonne? Hey, girl. Let's go and get this going because I got to run out. So go ahead,
We're
talk
gonna
to.
finish really quick.
Yes, ma'am.
Our what's in the bag our directory. What's the group up here? What's in the bag group? Motivational Monday. Talk about it Tuesday, Wednesday. Thankful Thursday, Friday. Come join us and continue to be interactive. Thank all of you guys for your support on that.
Yes.
In the bag directory page starting in January 2026. You guys will start to see upcoming events that are taking place. We got a lot of changes happening in
Yes.
2026. We can't wait for you guys to be a part of. And then you guys can also take and find us live on YouTube at What's in the Bag 21. And then also that same hashtag, What's in the Bag 21 for Twitch and Instagram and TikTok. But we are not live on those.
We get ready to go live on Instagram. We still working on it, but we getting there.
And if you guys have someone that you would like to be a guest on the show, if you have a topic that you would like for us to discuss, please do not hesitate to reach out to us at 833-520-9482, extension 700 or 701. And that is 833-520-WITB. We look forward to hearing from you guys. And with that being said,
yay!
Thank you guys so much. It's a beautiful segment. It is beautiful today. It is beautiful today, people. And as always, stay blessed, be a blessing, and have a blessed day. I love you guys and can't wait to see you guys next week.
Thank y'all so much. We appreciate y'all for watching, everyone, whoever's watching behind the scenes, just everybody. We just thank y'all. We're grateful to you. You don't even know. Even though we might not see your face and we might not say anything, long as you watching, and I hope and pray that you got something from just this segment alone. There's a whole lot of other ones going on, but just this one alone. What a great guest we had on. We want to thank Cynthia for being a part of this part of the platform this morning. So have a great day. Have a wonderful week. We will see you on next Saturday.